Hey family, today this video is going to be about the slavery the children of Israel did in Egypt during the time of our father Moses. Well, not Moses, not necessarily Moses, but what the Most High told Abraham about them going into captivity. Let's say that. So that's what I kind of want to elaborate on today, showing you their captivity, because I'm going to show you their captivity twice, and I'm going to show you how they were different times, but they were so similar in just what the Most High said to Abraham on their affliction. So family, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So let's go. We're going to talk about these folks going into slavery. So in the book of Genesis, chapter 15, 13 through 16, I think it says, and 13 says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. 16 says, but in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So the Most High was telling Abraham that his children are going to go into slavery. So I did a video showing you how the children of Israel worshiping other gods is what throughout the Bible has gotten them in trouble with the Most High. So when the Most High told Abraham that his children was going to go into slavery, it was because they were in a land that was not theirs, and they were serving other gods because they was doing as the other nations who they were dwelling amongst. They was taking on their God. So when he told him, he said, know of a surety that your seed is going to go, they're going to be in a land that's not theirs. They're going to be strangers, and they're going to serve these people, and these people are going to afflict them. He said, but these people will he judge, and the children of Israel, Abraham's children are going to come out with great substance. So when the children of Israel were in Egypt, and right before they got ready to go into captivity or into slavery, you remember they went down into Egypt with Joseph, joined Joseph when he was down into Egypt. And it was because it was a famine, and the Most High sent them down to Egypt with Joseph, where Joseph had showed these people how to grow all this food and how to preserve things to get through the famine. So the children of Israel went down to Egypt to join Joseph. Now, Joseph and all the other sons of Jacob, who was Israel, had died, and their children were still dwelling in the land. So the children they didn't know the Most High. They didn't know God like their fathers did, or their forefathers did. So they wasn't acknowledging him, and they wasn't praying to him, and they wasn't worshiping him. They wasn't going to him for anything. They was taking on the gods of these other people, doing as these other nations. So these people saw how great the number of Israel, the children of Israel, was becoming. They was threatened. So they decided that they was going to start putting them into slavery. And that's how they went into bondage. That's how they went into captivity, into slavery in Egypt. The government, or the people, started seeing that they were greater in number than all the other people, the other nations that were dwelling in Egypt. So they said, what if they decide to turn against them? It's so many of them, they can overpower them. So that's what God was saying. The Most High was saying that they're going to be in a land, and they're going to be strangers in this land, because they really were strangers in this land. This was not their land. These were not their people. They were in this land because they came down to join Joseph. And Joseph, because Joseph had so much power in Egypt at the time when he was there, his family was placed in the best land. He brought his father, and he put his father in the best land. They had the best everything. So the children of Israel at this time was dealing, and they had the best of everything. So these people was like, how that's happening? So they decided to go ahead and put them in slavery, afflict them and put them in slavery. So when they started complaining, the children of Israel started complaining. They was just complaining and they was groaning about being in captivity and all of these things happening to them. The Most High heard them. And he remembered the promise that he had made to Abraham, about taking care of his seed and his children, and about them, taking care of them, about them being the promise all this time. And the Most High taking care of them. When Abraham, he told Abraham, he said he was going to go to his grave in peace at a good old age. So that was reassuring. He was reassuring Abraham that he was going to take care of his children after he was gone. So when the groaning started, they start moaning and groaning. He sent Moses to tell the Pharaoh that that he need to let his children go, his people go, so that they can come back and start serving him again. So the Pharaoh didn't want to hear that. The government didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear that because they had these people enslaved, and these people was building all their cities and they was doing all this labor and stuff, free labor. So what make you think they gonna let them go when they doing all of this and they own people sitting back watching these people serve them? So that's when the Most High had to come through there with the locusts, the flies, the turning the water into blood. He killed the firstborn of the Pharaoh and all they cattle, sheep, everything that was alive and living. He killed the firstborn. So when he got the children of Israel out of Egypt, you remember he said he brought them out with a stretched out arm from the hands of the Pharaoh out of bondage. So when he brought them out, he reminded them that they were his children. They were his people through their father Abraham. So, like I said, they worshiping other gods. So when he brought them out, it was because of the promise that he had made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Wasn't because of them. It was because of the forefathers who served him diligently. So when he brought them out, he reminded them, gave them laws. He had given them laws. He gave them laws through Moses. So I said all of that to say this. Like I said, every time they go into captivity or they get into some type of trouble, it's because they worshiping other gods and they forget about him. After all that he do and have done for them, they forget about him. So when he said they will be in a strange land that is not theirs, it was this government. It was the Pharaoh. It was these people, their laws that they had created to keep the children of Israel captive and in bondage. That's what made them strangers. Now, and then he said, and they shall serve them 400 years. They had served the Pharaoh and his government for 420 years. And he said, the nation that afflicted them will he judge. The judgment was when he went in there, had Moses go in there to bring them out, the flies, the locusts, the water turning into blood, and all of those things that he hit them people with, that was their judgment. Then he said, when he brought the children of Israel out with a stretched out arm and they came across the Red Sea onto that land, when they came out of before they even left Egypt, all the people who they had served blessed them with gifts. So that's their great substance. That's the great substance. And then once the Most High brought them out and they dwelled in the wilderness for a while, then he had Moses show Joshua to give them their lands. That's their great substance. So everything he promised Abraham in that verse, he did. So I want to show you them their first affliction that he said that was going to happen to them happened, and he's a God of his word. When he said, he will perform it. Everything he promised to their forefather Abraham, he did it. And he wanted to show them he's their God. So my thing in this video is what I'm trying to show you is them worshiping other gods is what he has a problem with. And like I said, every time they get in trouble or go into affliction or some type of affliction, it's because they serving other gods. So family, that's my thing. That's why I created this video. I wanted to show you guys how Israel always get in trouble because they always doing what other nations do, serving their gods, doing like other nations. We're not other nations. We belong to the children of the Most High. We're the children of Israel. We're his chosen seed. So family, we got to stop doing as these other people, worshiping these other people, and start serving our God. Coming back to our God. So family, with that being said, I thank you for viewing my video, and I'll see you on the next one.